Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast with Phil Graham. We help you master Facebook ads and give you an unfair advantage over your competition. Are you ready? Let's go.
Hey, what's up, podcast family? Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast, episode 293. I'm Phil Graham. Today, my friends, it's all about Facebook Pixel 101. A lot of people make mistakes with their pixel, and these mistakes actually cost them a lot of money and make it so ads don't work properly, if at all. So I want to make sure that you're not making those mistakes. We're going to talk about some of the fundamentals in regards to the pixel and what you should be doing when it comes to that. And I'm super glad you're here. I cannot believe that this upcoming weekend is Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And regardless of whether you celebrate or not, I just wish you all a great time, a great holiday season, a great end of the month, all of the above, all of the things. I just hope you're doing really well, and I appreciate you being here. And I can't wait to talk about the Pixel with you guys today. But before we do, just a quick note. If you guys are looking for some one-on-one coaching so you can upskill your Facebook ads in 2023, or maybe you want somebody to run your ads for you so you can take that off your plate so you can do what you love doing in this new year coming up. For either one of those things, you can go to my website, philgrahamdigital.com, or DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital, and we can definitely connect. I would love to talk to you. So when it comes to the pixel, it is so important. Running ads without a pixel is almost like playing basketball without a ball. It's like almost impossible in terms of effectiveness. So today we're going to be covering the fundamental things that you need to be doing when it comes to the pixel. And there's basic stuff when it comes to the pixel, and there's advanced stuff. And we do both. I've got clients that spend tons of money on ads, and I also have other clients that spend small amounts of money on ads. So we do both. Today is going to be focused more on the basics, not the advanced. Regardless of what you are, whether you spend a lot or a little, you might want to just make sure these things are all covered. But this is definitely going to be geared more towards just the basic fundamentals of the pixel. And in a future episode, for those of you who are already spending a lot of money on ads, I will cover the advanced pixel stuff because there's a lot of other things that we do that are much more advanced. But if you don't have the basics down, you can't do the advanced. So the pixel is so important because in a nutshell, it tracks data and tells Facebook what's going on. The pixel is invisible, but it should be on your website and all your pages. And then Facebook can see who did what on your site because of that pixel. So even though, a year and a half ago or so, iOS had their privacy updates, and a lot of people thought it was just going to ruin everything, it's made it more challenging, but if you're really good at it, it's still not a problem. The pixel is a great thing and still works really well, and ads can work extremely well regardless of all those challenges. So that's great news. And again, today we're going to talk about the basic pixel stuff. We'll cover advanced stuff in the future. So I've got 7 steps that I want to make sure you guys are doing from the very beginning to running an ad to make sure that you have the Facebook pixel set up properly and how to use it the right way as well. And step number 1, obviously, is to either create your pixel, or if you already have it created, make sure you go in there into Events Manager and you grab your pixel ID number if it's already created. Now, each ad account gets a pixel. A lot of people ask me about having multiple pixels and all that kind of stuff. And yes, you could have multiple pixels on your website. Just realize each ad account has its own pixel. Do you need multiple pixels? No, unless you have multiple ad accounts for some reason. But make sure that you either create your pixel, or if it's already created, you go in there and you grab the ID number if it's already there. And you do that by going into Events Manager. That's number 1. Number 2, you've got to put the pixel on your website. And not just your website. Like if you're using landing pages, let's say third-party landing pages or sales pages, or you've got a blog and a store, maybe you've got something on Shopify and WordPress, or maybe you're using lead pages or ClickFunnels or Unbounce or something like that. Wherever you're sending people from your ads, wherever you have stuff on the internet, you should have your pixel there. So in your store, on your blog, on your website, all of the above. So you take your one pixel, you put it everywhere, wherever you have stuff on the internet. Number 3, you then want to make sure that the pixel is actually installed on your pages. And by the way, if it's your website, it's not just the homepage. It should be on every page. And you want to make sure it's there, because like, what if you think it's there, but it's not? I've seen that happen before, or it was done incorrectly. So in order to make sure it's there, what I do is I go to the Chrome browser and I download a plugin called Facebook Pixel Helper. And that's from Facebook. That will allow you to see if the pixel is installed, because it's invisible. So when you load the page, it'll show you not only if the pixel is there, but it'll have the pixel ID number on there as well. And you can check and make sure that it's there, there's no errors, and that it's your correct pixel. Number 4, this is really important. This is something that not everybody does. Some people don't realize it's even a thing, but you need to verify your domain as well on Facebook. So you go to Business Manager, and then you can also go to Events Manager, but verifying your domain is in Business Manager. And so you go into Business Manager, under your domain section, it should be verified. If it's not, you need to verify it. And you can verify it. It'll show you, it'll tell you like 3 options for how to verify it. You've got to do it. Don't run ads without verifying your domain. It's super important. So that comes next. That's number 4. Once you've verified your domain, and by the way, again, that's super easy. Facebook will give you a file to upload to the site, and then you check it and they verified it, you're good to go. You could also do a more difficult way through DNS records, or put some header code in there, which is not too hard. So no matter where your site is, it can be verified. So just make sure you do that. Okay, number 5, once your pixel and your website, your pixel's on there and you verified your website, you've done all that. Number 5 is you want to set up your aggregated events. It's called AEM, and that is in Events Manager. What that does is it tells Facebook what you most want to track, number 1. And then number 2, even most importantly, it allows you to prioritize what you're tracking, because whatever's in the number 1 spot is going to get the best data, the most data. So for example, for a lot of you guys, tracking purchases is going to be the most important thing. So when you set up your aggregated events in the Events Manager, you want to make sure that you create those events and then you make purchases in the number 1 slot. And you can move them around however you like. If you're not selling anything yet and you're just collecting leads, then you could make leads number 1. But whatever your primary number 1 thing is, not only do you want that in there, but you want it to be in the number 1 slot. It's very important. So in Events Manager, again, look for AEM. It'll say aggregated events. You can only do this when your domain is verified. And then you go in there, you create the events, and then you can prioritize them and just make sure whatever's most important to you is number 1. All right, moving on to number 6. When you're running your ads, this is a huge one. Like, this is a huge mistake. And it's not even like a mistake on your part. It's a glitch on Facebook's part, but it can definitely mess things up. So I run lots of ads for lots of clients, and I see a lot. And this happens so often, it's not even funny. When I go to run an ad, in the ad section, there's a checkbox for your pixel. You want to make sure that you check the box that you want your pixel to track this, and you make sure that it's the right pixel as well, of course. So I check the box, or it's already checked, either way. I hit publish. And then what happens sometimes is once it gets published, Facebook's system kind of glitches out and then it unchecks the box. So then I look at it after it reloads and the pixel is unchecked, meaning it's not going to be used for that ad, which is crazy. So I've got to go in there and I've got to check the box again and hit publish again. And sometimes I have to do it 3 or 4 times. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that when you launch an ad, your pixel box is checked, you hit publish, place order to launch the ad. And then as it refreshes, you want to look at that box to make sure that it stayed checked. Make sure it stayed selected. And if it didn't, you've got to just keep doing that a few times until it does. And then after once or twice or a few times, you might have to reload the page even. But after doing it a few times, it'll eventually stick and stay checked. But so many people have no idea that's even a glitch, and that can really mess things up. So make sure you don't make that error, or at least, have that glitch affect you. And then last but not least, when it comes to the pixel stuff, number 7, you obviously then want to also start creating audiences with your pixel data. So to do that, you go into Audience Manager and you can create a bunch of different targeting audiences based off of your pixel, which is really cool. You can obviously do warm audiences, so retarget people that have watched your videos or visited your website. And how does Facebook know they visited your website? Because you had the pixel there. So you can retarget all those people and send ads to those people. You can also create audiences of people that visited just specific pages of your website only. Like maybe it's a specific topic or a specific product or service that you offer, and you want to create an audience of people that just visited that page and talk to them about that same thing. You can do that. You could also create an abandoned cart audience. So you could essentially go to the Audience Manager and choose people that added something to their cart within the last, say, 14 days, and then exclude people that purchased in the last 14 days. And that'll be people that abandoned their cart. You can get back in front of them with an ad. How does Facebook know all that? The pixel. And so there's so many different ways and different audiences that you can create because you've got the pixel on there, but it needs to be on there. It needs to be correct. And then when you run your ads, you need to make sure it doesn't glitch out and uncheck your pixel. You don't want to get messed up because of that. So these things are all basic, but they're so important. I needed to create an episode for it so I can always not only help you now, but refer back to it with others in the future, because so many don't have the basics. Like a lot of people think they do, but one of these things might be messed up and they didn't even realize it. And so no matter what, make sure that none of your stuff is messed up, that you've got these basics down. And like I said, in the very near future, I'll be doing an advanced episode that covers a lot more advanced stuff when it comes to the pixel, including different connections with platforms and how to use it even more. So those of you who are advanced and or spend a lot more money on ads who are already way past this stuff, I got you covered. I'll be covering that stuff in the future as well. So my friends, episode 293 is in the books. Again, Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. Thank you so much for being here. I'll be back next week with another great episode. I appreciate you. If you want to get in touch, philgrahamdigital.com is the website. You can DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital, and I will talk to you next week, everybody. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and share this with all your friends. For show notes, more tips, and to learn more about Phil, please visit philgrahamdigital.com/podcast.